What's poppin', what's poppin', what's poppin'? Once again, you already know it's your girl, PrettyYanny, and you are now tuned into HotSeat with PrettyYanny. On this very episode, whoa, can I hear the drum roll? I have with me, Mr. Handsome, Mr. Sexy, the one and only celebrity, is feeling gassed. Should we continue? Is an actor, is a TV presenter. Should I continue? He was once in Big Brother Africa and won. Should I continue? Right? Should we have the
I think they figured it out by now.
But ladies and gentlemen, I have with me Uti!
Yay.
Oh, where's the energy down now? I can't have one. My energy can't be too loud.
I know, I'm letting you have the energy for now.
Ooh,
Yes, as
you're
we
about
proceed,
to bring it on.
I might give you what you need.
What I need. Ooh.
Energy.
Ooh, it's loud.
Yeah,
Once
I'm
again-
trying. I had a heavy breakfast, so.
Oh, come on. You got to hide this now.
Real breakfast too, not the emotional breakfast. So, well, a bit of the emotional breakfast, but not breakfast, just, yeah.
You want to tell us? You want to spill the tea? No. So we should lock it.
Hey, let's look it.
All right.
We're here. Woo! Yeah, I'm here. Wow, PrettyYanny.
I'm screaming.
On this episode of HotSeat with PrettyYanny, I just want to say a big thank you and a big shout out to Tambo's Kitchen. This is your African-themed restaurant based here in Massachusetts. If you want that boring and delightful taste, you know what to do. Tap in with Tambo's Kitchen. Follow them on all their social media pages at Tambo's Kitchen. Definitely tap in.
But ladies and gentlemen, once again, I have with me Uti.
Whoop, whoop.
What do we do on HotSeat? You already know we support, we showcase, we inspire, we empower all
Good.
creatives in the diaspora.
Great.
Right? So Uti is here. Uti, before we get into anything, I'm just going to ask you, how are you doing?
That's a very ambiguous question, but I'd say like our parents and aunties and uncles used to say back in the day, I'm blessed. I'm very blessed.
Highly
blessed
favored.
and highly favored.
Amen. Hallelujah, somebody.
Yes, and
That's right.
It is well.
Okay,
Yes.
so should we talk about your feet, your hair? I'm looking at your shoe, but
Oh, God.
camera will not really catch that.
Yeah.
I would say you should do.
I should do this.
There we go.
I think I've worn this like 100 times. I love it. It's so comfortable. It's from Green Pasture.
Wow.
I love it. Yeah.
Wow. Who
And
do
the
you think?
outfit is-
Who do you think you are?
Who, me? No, it's Nigerian made. I'm full head to toe Nigerian.
All right, talk to us about your fit. Before we touch base on your hair right now, do you style yourself?
Most times, yes.
Oh,
but
wow.
if it's a huge event or a lot of events I style myself. If it's a show that I'm hosting, obviously
Right.
I need a stylist.
Right.
Yeah, but most of the time I style myself.
How tall are you?
6'2".
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
tall.
Yeah.
Your hair. What brought about that, the inspiration? And how long have you been grooming it?
Okay, so it's funny. With the dreads in general, right from when I was young, people always laugh when I tell them this, but I think the first time I felt like I wanted to have dreads was when I looked at a mop stick at the way they...
What a wow.
I know. Just the way the mop looked I was just like, all right. So like others will say, oh, a human being inspired me. Oh, I saw Magic Fashek or Lucky Dube or this.
Right.
And mine was a mop stick. I just liked the way
The hair.
Yeah. What's it called?
That's different.
I don't want to say
the
wrong
thread,
word.
is
the
it?
thread, the
Yeah.
wick, the
Something.
bristle or
They get
whatever,
it.
the ropes, on
Right.
whatever you
On
want
the
to call
mop
it.
stick,
On
wow.
the mop stick, yeah. So I said, it'd be nice to have that on my head because I always liked hair.
Right.
I would grow up my hair. I had like afros, I had like rough coils, I had different things.
Right.
So I said, yeah, it's time to do something.
And
more
the beard is
permanent.
bearding.
Thank
it's
God,
bearded.
all the days of slapping my face with spirits in SS2 and 3.
No!
No, of course that shit doesn't work. It doesn't work. I'm a hairy person. I have hair everywhere.
Right. Okay.
So yes.
All
Yeah,
right.
thank
Let's
you.
get into it. Uti, that name speaks for itself.
Yes.
However, like I said, on HotSeat, we want you to share your story.
Yeah.
How did Uti, became Uti? Like, bring us down memory lane. We want to hear your story.
Eish,
of course, we know you have to. I mean, if you
That
can
is so
shine it,
long.
summarize
I literally
it.
did this for the other show I was on. I don't know. I think everyone already knows my story
course.
right now, so it'll be pretty boring. But I mean, it's the same thing. Grew up in Delta State, schooled in Edo State. Always had dreams of doing what I do now.
Right.
Started watching Big Brother from Big Brother South Africa way back in the early 2000s. Watched the first Big Brother Africa in 2003, and then I was like, yeah, you know what? I want to be on that show.
Right.
Auditioned in 2008, evicted after 6 weeks, got the chance to be back on the All-Star, won the All-Star, and then launched Jara in, Africa Magic launched Jara in December of that same year, 2010, and Jara was on for 11 years. And I guess that sort of changed my life, winning the show. And that's, it opened the doors for me to meet producers, directors, people in the hospitality business and events business. And yeah, that's it really.
And since you touched bit on the Big Brother Africa thing, I'm just going to throw that question in here now before we actually get into it.
Yeah.
Is the seat hot or no?
My seat?
Yeah.
It's pretty warm. It's pretty warm.
But okay. So since you touched base on that, right? Do you think that from when you contested or when you went to Big Brother Africa compared to now, and I see on your socials, you're following up with the recent.
Oh yeah, I'm a huge fan.
You're a huge fan. Yeah. So do you think that there's been a whole lot of difference from then to compared to now?
Of course. I mean, mine was Africa, so we had how many other African countries in the house.
Right.
Each housemate was from a different African country. As opposed to now where
it's just
all Nigerians in the house. So the difference is clear. I mean, I think Nigerian Big Brother is a bit softer. I think we got away with a lot more BS back in our time.
Wow.
I mean, I just felt, or rather I feel like that was the epitome of reality shows in Africa back then. It was so real.
Right.
But with the Nigerian one, it just feels like a lot of our culture is affecting it and our beliefs and all of that.
Right.
So people are scared to be themselves 100%, or people try so hard to mask who they are, they end up fumbling. Or they try hard to
be
project
who they're not.
Another image thinking that would work with the crowd. But I mean, that's what makes it fun in the end, I guess. Yeah, so there's that difference. However, it still has its entertainment value. I love it. But that's how I am every season of Big Brother. I think people just expected me to keep quiet after winning. I'm like, no, I was a fan of the show before I went on the show.
So I will continue to be a fan of it.
Yeah, this is how I would have been tweeting even if I hadn't won.
Right.
So, and Instagramming and TikToking and all of that.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about you. Your younger self.
Yes.
What would you tell it?
I just tell him, hang on, bro. Everything's going to be all right.
Why?
Yeah, because in the end, eventually, everything works together for your good. Eventually. What looks like rejection is redirection.
Right.
Yeah, what looks like stagnancy is actually growth. You have to learn. So if you're not getting what you want as at then, it's time for you to cook. I literally gave that lecture to my friend that was feeling some kind of way about, missing out on a job interview and whatnot. I said, I'm like, if you're baking cake now, if you bring it out of the oven in 5 minutes, it's going to make you sick if you eat it, and you end up throwing it away. You won't eat it. So you have to let it bake for 25, 30, 35 minutes before you enjoy the cake. So sometimes what we want has not finished baking.
Right.
So we need to calm down. So I guess I'll tell
But you don't think it's easier said than done?
That's why you said if I go back to my younger self, because that's why we need mentors like us to be able to tell the younger versions, if you would only listen. Because I was a good listener when I was young. I listened to people before me. I listened to people older than me, wiser than me, and people that had walked the mile before me. So knowing that I was a good listener, and I'm still a good listener, I would go back and tell the guy, man, hey, bros. And it's funny you asked this, because my friend visited yesterday, and I have different pictures in my house of different ages. So he saw my 25-year-old picture. I was like, I see you here. I'm like, yeah. And then he saw my 30th picture, and I was like, how old are you here? And I told him 30. My God, you look like you were 23. So he said 23. So I was like, I'm like, I was looking at the picture, I was like, I love that guy. I'm like, I love that person I see there. Like, because I remember how my heart was then, and it's so adorable. I was such an adorable person. So, yeah.
You're still adorable.
Nigeria don't make me heart small. But, you know, as at that age, I was still I still wanted to love everybody, and, you know, I wanted to everyone to be happy. I wanted to please people, you know, and I was taught a very harsh lesson. Not to say I don't love people, I don't want to love people, but
but
people
life
have
comes
to earn
at
it.
you fast.
Yes, people have to earn it. So, so I was saying, he's a cool guy. Like, if I could go back and tell him, I'll tell him, calm down, enough with the anxiety. It's going to work out, don't be scared.
Baby steps.
Yeah, baby steps, and don't be so consumed with how people perceive you. Just do you, bro.
I was about to ask a question.
Do you, bro. Do you, bro.
On this episode of Hot Seat with PrettyYanny, I just want to say a big thank you and a big shout out to Miriam Events. She's an events decorator based here in Massachusetts. For all your events, weddings, birthdays, baby showers, and so many more, tap in on all their social media pages at Miriam Events. Tap in.
Why'd you beat me to that, though?
No, it's fine, because it's one of the problems in our society today. Everyone is so obsessed, and that's the problem with some of the housemates in the Big Brother house. People are so consumed with how they are perceived on the outside
instead of
world.
being free and be themselves.
Exactly,
and all
because
of that.
the thing is that most people that judge and perceive you in the light that you're not are confused, and they're projecting their confusion and bitterness on you. So until you know that.
That's deep.
Yeah.
Look at you dropping gems.
No, but it's the fact. That's why I'm like, I wish I had met, but it's okay. You learned the lesson at the
As
time
you
you're
go.
supposed to learn
That's
it.
true.
So it's fine.
And like we normally say, if you don't make the mistake by yourself, you're not going to learn.
True, but not everyone is supposed to make a
Make
mistake,
mistake.
because some will survive, some will not survive from that mistake. Some people never get the chance to repair their wrongdoing. So blessed are those who can believe without seeing. So the same thing are those who can learn from another person's experience. Like if I know that you've been a monster to her or him, right, and I've met you and we're vibing and your energy is so cool, and then someone else, right, who I probably trust or know from the past tells me, careful now. There are some people that will say, I'm not fighting your fight. And then I'll go ahead and befriend you until you knock me akbako. So for me, I don't need to let you knock me akbako. I will set my boundaries immediately, because what makes me so special for you not to do the same thing you did to that person. Especially if it's someone, you know, there are people that lie and, you know, they always escape accountability. Yeah, so you would know if you, from your friend's behavior, right? Yeah, so there's a certain kind of friend that will tell me about this situation. It doesn't have to be a person. It can be a job. It can be a country you're traveling to. It can be whatever. As long as you can tell me your experience, I guess, which is why if you go on like Yelp and all of that, there are reviews. Even before you download an app, there are reviews.
See the reviews. That's
Do you understand? So if you see a review that, oh, this app contains a virus, and you go ahead and say, let me really see, meanwhile, you might not have money to buy new phone or new software. So now you sabi. So for people that can afford to just throw away their phones and they have one backup in like 4 different computers, they can afford to take those risks. So know yourself. So it's not everything you need to experience. It's not everything. Fire can burn you, and yours will be a 1st degree burn. Fire will burn the next person, and it will be a 3rd degree burn. So you 1st degree, 3rd degree.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I hope you're enjoying this. This is Uti, live and direct in my hot seat. All right. I skipped the question. So now I'm going to ask you that question. You're always so happy.
Am I?
I don't know if I should say always, or you seem happy.
I seem always happy, yes.
And like you said something about the whole Nigeria, we're in Nigeria.
Oh, yes.
Frustration in Nigeria alone is something, but how do you do it? How?
I can't say how I do it. And correction, I'm not always happy.
That's why I said you see.
I will show you guys the side of me I need you to see. Because when I was on Big Brother, yes, people said, oh, you're very mischievous, you're very funny, you were jovial and kind, but they also saw my bad side. And there's some videos I can't shake off even till tomorrow.
Right. Because, you know, energy speaks volumes.
Oh, yes. And my energy is positive.
Okay.
I'm always on a positive vibe as long as you give me positive energy. I will reflect and magnify whatever energy you bring towards me. So if you come with pleasant energy, you would get an awesome response and reflection. If you come with bad energy, you would get demonic response.
I guess it's the part where I say thank you
For
being in my hot seat.
as long as I always tell people, as long as you have kind intentions towards me, you would never see my ugly side. Do you understand? And how do I stay happy in this country? I guess acceptance of what, you know, that prayer now, God give me the grace to change those things I can change. And the ones I can't change, help me to accept them.
Yes.
So, and my inner child is very much alive, which is why I can look
I love
at my
it.
younger
Look at
version.
you. Oh,
Yeah. I will
giving.
watch cartoons all
giving.
day, listen to old songs, songs that remind me of myself when I was growing up.
Are you taking notes?
Oh, yes. You know, I eat the kind of food that makes me happy. I work out. I don't associate myself with people that prevent me from being my true self, because I need to blossom and grow in an environment that encourages that.
Right.
So if my friends are not encouraging that, then they're not my friends.
Yeah,
so the friends I have now are friends that keep it real, because Lagos is a plastic place.
Amen to
Do you
that.
understand? So I've been able to
Even this
find
little time
one or
I've been
two.
here.
You've seen it. So if you are a Dorime person, doesn't make you bad. Okay, find your Dorime people. If you're the outdoor alter, you know, beer, meat vibes.
We outside.
We outside. You know, doesn't mean we can't do the Dorime when it's called for.
Right.
We will do that professionally.
Right.
But based on our choice, we like the down to earth. We keep it simple. Simplicity is the best gift that you can ever give yourself. It's key. Simplicity is beautiful. Just keep it simple.
Right.
Unless you are paid to be complex or complicated. But if you're going to be complicated for free or complex, I'm sorry. And that's why lots of people spiral into depression, because they're consistently trying to be something else for society. So for me, I was able to break away from the conditioning of society, the conditioning of culture, and the most important one for me was the conditioning of religion. I broke free from that at around age 32, 33, because I used to be really religious. I used to go the whole 9 yards, prayer books, binding and casting, night vigils, thinking someone was always after me or sitting on my seat, and I had all of those. Oh, your
brainwashed.
friend. I was so brainwashed. So I think that was one of the best gifts God gave me to let me know, listen, all this one's no concern you. Now
Just
your heart
be you.
and look. And the way I created you with the kind of heart you have, don't worry, you are my guy.
Amen to
so
that.
when I realized that, my whole life changed.
Amen to that. I don't want to say it, but I might say it. This may have been like maybe one of my favorite episodes.
Because of the small gems.
As in,
my Uncle James.
It's needed. You know what I'm saying?
I'm that uncle, the rebel uncle that spits gems.
But yeah, I believe you already touched base on most of the things.
Yeah.
If you were to choose between trust and loyalty.
I kind of feel like it's the same thing. I feel like to be loyal, you have, or rather for you to be counted as loyal, I have to trust you. Because trust leads to loyalty. It's the same thing.
Okay. Some people will answer it another way, but okay. I give you that. Check mark.
Like,
I wish I had a bell. Ding, ding. Okay. Let's go back to it. All right. So you walk into a room.
Yeah.
And I know that you did mention something about how people perceive you.
Oh, yes.
Are you walking into a room full of people thinking that? I feel like you low-key already, answered that, but I want like a straight answer.
Yeah.
So you're walking into a room full of people. Are you thinking, oh, what are these people thinking about me? Like, it's Uti in the room. Like, how you walked in the door and you're like, all these people, I
think for me, when I walk into a room, the first thing I'm thinking is, ooh, yeah, the hotties. Yeah, I think, I'm more always away from myself when I walk in, because I already have that Uti moment before I leave my house. I would only dress the way that will make me feel confident. So that Uti moment comes when I'm walking out. I probably do that for like the security people. So when I'm walking in my head, I'm like, if nobody hail me, that means I'm not, They say, bros, you're looking nice. I say,
so what happens if they don't say it?
No, nothing. I think for me, that's just play. But for me, I think I didn't have mirrors in my house before, apart from the mirrors in my bathroom.
Why? Is there a story
People
behind
probably
that?
think I have like a hall of mirrors and be like, look at me. Quite the contrary. I don't know. always, I guess that's what confidence is like. You don't need to reassure, revalidate. You just know. If you have it, you have it. Do you get?
Yeah.
So I never really felt the need to have mirrors. So I was just going to the bathroom, and the bathroom is just literally from here to here, the bathroom mirror. Just be like, okay, as long as I'm looking good, I'm fine. So I only got a mirror in my last relationship because of who I was dating. That one liked mirrors. So we just put one mirror on the side of my cupboard. And that's the only mirror I have in my house.
Wow.
So now I still use it because I'm like, oh, well, thank you for helping me get a mirror. So as long as I'm fine there, I'm good. So when I walk in, I'm just thinking, So in all honesty, it's not about the hotties. I'm like, okay, who do I know here? Where am I going to? What table am I going to go to? Or that's what I'm thinking, really.
Right,
I just
depending
want to
on
go
the
to my
setting.
tribe.
You just want to be comfortable.
Finish. I'm just thinking of how can I be comfortable in this place that I've entered. So I'm not even thinking whether people are looking or whether anything.
Right.
I just want to be comfortable first. Then when I
Before
find
anything.
my tribe and my fellow mischievous people, we'll now sit down
Fellow
and start
mischievous.
judging everybody. Say, sit down one eye, sit down one head, wait, sit down one day.
Oh my God.
Not in a malicious way.
If we could actually see people's heart, huh?
I know. I'll be like, we say, so that one girlfriend, why he come? What did we masquerade? Just for fun. Yeah. So.
Okay, so like you said, hottie. So a hottie walks into the room. What's your first thought?
If you look good, and I'll nudge myself, see. And I'm like, don't look yet, but just count like 4. Then just slowly, 6 o'clock or 10 o'clock,
I'm
or 3
crying.
o'clock. Sometimes you tell people 3. Instead of looking at it, they'll be like, I said, not 9, 3. Then you now go back and say, okay. So now I expect, no, not my respect. They don't want me respect. So yeah, you go meet her. So like, say they come this way,
Really?
So it's just fun like that.
Fun moments,
It's nothing serious. And yes, if a hottie comes in, but I'm usually not the first to approach a hottie unless we're
Really?
in the same environment.
You might have missed out on your soulmate.
It's okay, they're not miss, it's not for me. What is for me will never pass me by. I'll give you an example. Like one of my exes, worst relationship ever.
Oh, boy.
I remember my friend showed me a picture. I was like, oh, one fine girl from Obodo Imbo. Like, those I just got back kind of, yeah.
What, throwing shots now? You're throwing jabs?
No, I'm just saying. Because that's why, Lagos is big, but it's so small. And
that's
the
true.
social circle, you end up seeing the same people. So when there's new meat, it's pretty obvious. So I was like, I want to meet, And that, my friend, was playing slow. So I was like, for me, if I'm trying and it doesn't work, I tried to get him to invite her
Peace out.
on 2-3 different occasions. And he kept giving me excuses. I was like, I beg you, maybe this one is not for me. I'm very quick to let things go. If it's not coming towards me. So months later, from another friend, totally unrelated, is like, oh, want to hang out, my friend, is visiting. Let's go do karaoke. And I'm like, okay. And then he was running late. I was like, oh, she's on her way there. Please just keep her company. I'm coming. I'm like, okay. And who walks in? The same person
same
that
girl.
I was like, see God. And then he couldn't make it. She was so pissed we couldn't even talk. So I had to now set a reconciliatory
Wow.
dinner to say, oh, let's all not hang out, not dinner. Let's just hang out and make peace. And that's how we started.
So what if you were in a relationship?
And Hottie walked in.
No, like we were talking about the soulmate thing, right?
Yeah.
So what if you're in a relationship and you eventually run back into the soulmates? Are you going to break up?
You can never know if someone is your soulmate until you start to date. So for me,
But will you break up?
No, I wouldn't.
On this episode of Hot Seat with PrettyYanny, I want to say a big thank you and a big shout out to PGC Blog. If you need to cover any of your events, media coverage, brand influencing, definitely tap in with PGC Blog. Follow them on all their social media pages. On Instagram, it's PGC_blog_and_events. All other social media pages at PGC_blog. Definitely tap in.
I've never left anyone for someone without the person leaving me first.
Try.
Do you understand? Or giving me distance. Because for me, my love language is quality time. And if we're spending so much time together and then you start withdrawing, I will tell you. I'm not the person that would just say, oh, you're doing this, so I'll do it too. No, I will tell you. I'm a very expressive man, and I'm not ashamed to say that. I'm an emotional man. I'm sensitive. So I'll tell you when you are withdrawing. And I'll say it, you're withdrawing. And if you like, you defend, you argue. I'll say, okay. I'll tell you again. Remember that thing I said last 2 weeks? I still feel that way. You are withdrawing. And there's like, oh, my work, oh, my family, oh, my this. But then I'm seeing you spending time with other people. And then I'll tell you for the last time, you are withdrawing. And if you don't make take any steps to amend,
right.
I will leave.
It's over.
Because my happiness is number one. Do you understand? So that's the only situation where I've had to leave someone for another person. Because when they're giving me distance, you've traveled, we're allowed to make friends, right? So when the friendship or another thing starts to develop because you're not giving me the attention and the time, I will move forward. It's very simple.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So what would you like to tell, your fans out there? You're a celebrity.
Until they don't find me, the reasons you might be finding me for may be fake. So go and find your pastors and your uncles and daddies.
Really.
I'll say thank you for loving me, even though I'm imperfect, and I'm sure you all know that. Because to be a fan of Uti is to be a real fan of Uti. Because I'm not. I'm easy to love, but I'm also easy to not love. So if you've stuck by me through all these years, it means you must really love me unconditionally.
One more question.
That's fine.
Now, for Uti, right? I'm sure a lot of people face challenges, one or the other, Is there one that's stuck that you can share with us?
Any particular challenge that's...
Maybe before you, got here.
I would say for me, I would just say change in general. I used to struggle with change. I didn't understand change back in the day. I didn't understand why change had to come, especially if things were working, because my motto is if it's not broke, don't fix it. Maybe because I'm of my inner hoarder.
The mentality.
I'm such a hoarder. So, and that's why most people that are hoarders are loyal. And that's why I'm loyal, because if it's working, why should I change it? So when, I think growing up, when changes would come, I would be so stressed emotionally and mentally because I'm used to this system. Why must I change to this? Like when we had to move, when I had to, first time I went to boarding school, first time I went to uni, just change in general. I struggled with change back in the day, even changing my mind, my perception about certain things, shaking off my conditioning too. I struggled with it. It was like an awakening. It felt like it was an awakening. It felt like I was losing it, but at the same time, it also felt good. So it was very confusing. It was very, very confusing. So change, I would say. But now I embrace change. Not to say I don't struggle within the first few
when you started, of course, it's a lot, whatnot.
But I'm able to recognize that, oh shit, another season of change is upon me. And then I start to look for, as opposed to Lord, why? I'm like, okay, Lord, how? What am I supposed to learn from this? Like, help me to not miss this lesson, because whatever lesson you miss in an experience will come back as a repeated experience in another form. So if you're someone that keeps getting brokenhearted, and I like to use relationships for my analogies because we just love relationships. So if you keep attracting the same, for you now, if you keep attracting the same kind of men, and that's why you hear when women say, oh, men are dogs. Men are scum. Men are scum. You would keep attracting scum until you change what you find attractive. That's the thing, because if you keep attracting the same kind of person, it's God's way, or if you want to say the universe's way, of teaching you what to not accept. And until you learn that lesson, you are not going to graduate to the next level of your life, which is why you have exams. And, Christians will say testing. It's very necessary. So if you find yourself having the same kind of friends, getting betrayed the same kind of way, your jobs ending the same kind of way, you have to ask God to open your eyes to see what you're getting wrong. It's a repeated experience. Nobody swore for you. You're making bad choices. You have to learn to make the right choices. Choices equals consequence. Yes.
Another one. You taking notes? All right. So my last question, Uti, and it's been fun having you in my heart.
Thank you. I've had so much fun.
Thank you for being here. I can't appreciate you enough. But my last question, right? How do you tend to juggle being an actor, a TV presenter, all these things that you do, fashionista? That one is like key. How? Maybe
because I don't look at it as juggling. I look at it as living. Because these are things that come to me naturally. Presenting came to me naturally. I don't think I've never gone to school for presenting.
But was there something that you wanted to be while growing up?
Musician. The first thing I ever wanted to be was a musician. I always wanted to be a musician. I was in the choir in school.
Oh, wow.
I've released a single. I released a single after Big Brother. But the thing is, back then, the rock genre wasn't
Wasn't popping.
really big here.
Yeah.
Now we have alternative artists like Johnny Drill and whatnot.
All
So
that.
if it was now, I would have taken it more seriously. Not to say I won't do it again.
I was
It's
about to
probably
say,
gonna
or
be
do
my
you still
retirement
plan to?
Of course, music is a part of me. It's in my soul. You know, music never leaves you.
Right.
So for the rest of my let me talk like a new person. Disciplines. I don't look at it as work. I look at it as fun that I get paid for. So I just take it one day at a time.
Right.
If I get a gig to present, I'll present. If I get a gig to act, I will act. I love presenting. That's my number one. Acting is more like a hobby.
Right.
Because acting don't pay the bills. No matter what any actor or actress tells you, it don't pay the bills, you know. So,
that's good to know. So I shouldn't venture into that.
You should, as a hobby. don't make your
life revolve around it.
Exactly.
Right.
Do it because you love to do it, and that's like I said, find other avenues. Yeah, to make the real bucks. Yeah.
I don't know if you want to say that on here, but are you single? Are you double? Are you?
I am anything you want me to be.
Wow, no, you are telling them.
Yes, I'm telling you. I'm anything you want me to be. Okay, so there are 3 things I don't discuss, or 2 things. I don't discuss my money, I don't discuss my relationship, my romance, and my money. I don't. I can talk about past relationships or friendships or whatnot, but if I'm in it or I'm not, I like...
Privacy.
It's private because our life is already out there in the public.
Amen
we
to
need
that.
this one. Can you give me this one?
Just that one.
Give me this one. Let me love in private.
Right.
Let me earn my money in private. Because I find out that when you speak about these things, you either set yourself up for good or bad. You know, people find out you're single, and the next thing, all sorts of people are coming at you, or people find out your relationship, and everybody's saying, why must it be this one you're dating? Why not? You know. And I just feel like when you advertise anything, you just attract all unnecessary kinds of things. So, nah, I'm not. Even when I'm in a relationship, sometimes people that feel they know me don't even know I'm in a relationship. That's how I get to enjoy it without any external influence.
Right.
Yeah, so that's me. Even when I earn, I won't tell you what I'm earning. I just live a simple life, and that's why I feel so blessed. Like, I'm the kind of person that, like I said, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Right.
I don't need to show you where I stand in the social meter. I'm just going to look good, come out, drink, eat, and go home. I'm not going to be the one to drive like the latest range or get the biggest house and say, oh, camera crew, come and see me. Oh, this is how I live. You know, and most of those things are lies anyways. So for me, just get your small thing. People don't need to know.
Enjoy your life in peace.
Enjoy your life in peace.
Amen to
travel. Travel, and then you can go wild. But here, where everybody is like,
in your business.
Just day or day. Be quiet. You have nothing to prove to anyone.
All right. I'm enjoying this. I'm sure the viewers are enjoying this as well.
So.
All right, so for the viewers that don't know Uti,
yes,
where can they find Uti?
If you don't search my name on social media, I think, you know, I'll tell you a fun thing about my username, my first username on Twitter, Uti. So back, you know, when you're younger now, you would always want to be affiliated with an established brand. You know, those days people would say, oh, maybe I'm a Bolucci Versace, you know, or Chibuzo
something.
You know, Chibuzo Calvin Klein, or CK Chibuzo, or something. You know? So back in the day, yeah. So Uti, Ceruti, the designer, or Cheruti, or whatever they call it. So when I was then I was in Nsukka, so they used to call me like they used to call me Cheruti because I used to write it as a nickname, Ceruti. So I was like, but I can't. But you know, this thing, what you say is what manifests. I said, okay, but when I'm a star, I cannot be saying Ceruti now because how would they differentiate it? I said, I have to say something that sounds like Ceruti. Uti. I'll call myself Sauti.
You know, like if people don't know that your name is actually Uti, they would think it's
Ceruti. So I made a mistake. I should have put a third dot
Uti. But it was too late. Okay, you still fix it.
It's okay. At least on TikTok, my name is Sir.Uti.
TikTok.
So for the Gen Z that are interested in knowing me, at least they will know it's Sir Uti.
Yep, that's right.
Because that's how you find Gen Z.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I had Uti, Sir Uti, a.k.a. you said Charlie. Charlie. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Like I said, continue to tap in. And with that being said, I remain your humble Pretty Yanny.